Hi, welcome to another episode of Freewheeling Fridays from Java Capital. My name is Karthik Pulapaka. I'm one of the partners at Java Capital. And I have with me Vinod Shankar, another partner at Java Capital. Hey, Vinod, welcome.
Hey, good evening. Thank you. Welcome to everyone. So today's freewheeling is going to be really freewheeling. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the whole point of freewheeling, right? First of all, happy Thanksgiving to you, Vinod, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody who's watching or listening to this right now.
absolutely. Karthik is the only one in our team who celebrates Thanksgiving.
Oddly, while you are the one who can afford to eat a turkey.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've not tasted the turkey yet. That's on my to-do list, Karthik.
Oh yeah, okay, great. But we do eat turkey in India, right?
What?
I mean, we do eat turkey in India, right?
Yeah,
It's
we do.
available now. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. But it's not like a common meat, at
Oh
least.
yeah. Right. I mean, I know that in Andhra we call it guinea coding.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
called. Yeah, yeah. They call it fire chicken or something like that, right?
Oh, fire
Maybe.
chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what in
Sure.
Andhra, right?
Yeah.
That right?
Must be.
Okay. And I think it's I don't know. I mean, it's been a week. It just passed really fast, is what I felt. Frankly, at even at Java, lots of old transactions. Getting paperwork. Lots of that's getting done. Excited. Hopefully, next week we'll have a couple more announcements to make. So that potentially, our third and fourth transactions likely to be announced in the next week. Like Bhagavi keeps telling, it never gets announced, but this time I am assuming at least one definitely next week. We will get have it announced from Java Capital. So please watch out. What's coming up next week? It's going to be like a super fun, exciting week for Java Capital. I'm pretty excited, and
Yeah.
I'm wearing the T-shirt. This is after
Finally, yeah.
I couldn't find it that day when we were in conversation with Custom Fit. So I thought today I found it. So I thought, okay, let me wear. And I think
Got
there's
it.
good news. A lot of good stuff happening. Custom Fit. They have got a marquee client in US Karthik, and this was anticipated for a long time. And I'm like super excited. Now when I have a conversation with others, right now they are taking it even more. What's it, with excitement and conviction. If I say right, so Custom Fit has had a great start. I'm just keeping fingers crossed and touch wood that we get more marquee clients and more clients, and we are on our way. That's on Custom Fit. I just wanted to share. That's why I wore the T-shirt. So that's the thing.
Nice,
And
nice. I hope Ashwin and Shoaib are watching this right now.
I hope, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think you should also maybe pull up Karthik, share a few comments about our Diwali gift, and just share what our founders actually said, right? Maybe you if you could pull up the gift that we sent, maybe a picture of it on Amazon. Maybe let's do some good stuff for Amazon also for all you. So Amazon helped us. This is our small Diwali gift that we sent to
Yeah.
our founders in Java Bean House. I'm not sure. A lot of people don't know what Java Bean House is. Bean House is an exclusive community for the founders of Java Capital. We intend to slowly, organize activities. Do a lot of value adds to the portfolio community, and that's how we've set up the Java Bean House. And Java Bean House, I think some small initiative for Diwali was a small gift that we could manage to send out, and some of the reactions, right, which is what I want to kind of pull out and share what our portfolio founders. Yeah, that's awesome, Karthik. I know. And then somebody said, I've read this book before my journey as an entrepreneur, and now I can relate and adopt a bunch of things, right? I think, people are, I've read it, some of our portfolio founders, and, they're just willing to read it again. And
Yeah.
yeah, Karthik,
So,
and
Vinod, while just a quick public announcement, if you guys have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. And we'll display the questions on the screen one, and we'll also discuss it. Hopefully, we can also rope you in for the freewheeling conversation, right? But Vinod, let me just quickly ask you, like, why we chose to send this book to our portfolio company founders.
so I'll be honest, I have not read the book. I've heard a lot of great things about the book, Karthik. Bhargavi has read it, and Bhargavi said, this is something, all founders, find a lot of meat and a lot of ability to relate to what's happening in. It is also on my reading list, so I would wait for Bhargavi to throw some more light on why this book to all our portfolio founders. Or
Yeah.
otherwise, I would love to know if you read it, right? Please throw some light on why this book. Yeah.
I did do the audiobook some time ago, almost a couple of years ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It makes a beautiful read. It's very. I think one of the reasons why it stood out for me, Vinod, is it just breaks down the complexity of running a business into very understandable and like really comprehensible pieces, right? Starting from raising funds from VC, although that is only one chapter that Ben talks about, right? It's very in your face. I love the tone of the book. It's like having a conversation with a friend rather than reading a very scriptural like kind of a book, right? And yeah, it makes a beautiful read. Like I haven't really read the book. I only did the audio of it.
Okay.
But I do want to read the book as well.
And Karthik, you should watch out for the comments, so, interestingly, right, what Sai is last said, thanks, Sham. I'll come back to the club, Bean, right? I'll complete this book thing, that Bean, Java Bean House is like a small, cozy clubhouse. Yes, if you wish, that's how we want to kind of build it in our own way, in a very small, closed community fashion, that's Java Bean House, right? That's for our founders. Largely, yeah, it's a small initiative we just started. Thanks, Sham. That's how it is going to be. Yeah. And Sai has put some interesting facts about the book, and he says, KP can't read, and he can only listen. Maybe truth to it. I don't know. Maybe Sai.
Man, what's up, man? Why are you trolling me?
No, reason I'll tell you. I think one of the founder wrote to us, when he received the book, right? He said, "Look, I've not read this book. I've listened to
Yes,
the book
yes.
in 2017. So it's not strange, right? I mean, I'm not trolling you. That means I'm trolling our founder also then, which I don't know what to do.
No, not you, Sai. Sai, why are you trolling me, buddy?
Sai is trolling me. Okay. So I think, maybe a lot of people tend to listen to it, I mean, that's fantastic, right? I mean, Sai, if there's anything interesting about the book now, feel free to, highlight. I know you mentioned, especially the story about the birth of a child. I think it's interesting, making me interested in and wanting to read that as well, right? I will, hopefully, if I finish one of my current ones, I will pick that up definitely. Yeah. And Karthik, just going back to, thanks, Sham. Again, thanks, always our well wishers on the feed gives us energy, to make the freewheeling, come alive. Frankly speaking, right? We just come on a Friday evening and think, what to talk. We're just very open and we just want to talk, anything that's potentially possible. We don't plan as much, frankly speaking. Yeah. If a lot of people think we're planning, we're not doing any of it, frankly. Yeah. And then, One more, another comment on the book, Karthik, again, right? A small anecdote, right? Some reached to, our founders in Vijayawada, right? It reached the last, but people were just waiting. In some sense, it just felt like, okay, they just want to get a hand on the book in a way, right? One of the founders mentioned that, and the other founder, curiously mentioned he was planning to buy, and I think we got it right. Like wonderful gift. Yeah, yeah. so yeah, yeah. There's one more benefit, Karthik.
Yeah.
Uh,
Vinam, I don't know what to say, Vinam. Thank you. Maybe is the right thing to say.
yeah, thanks, Vinam. Not sending any books well wishes yet, Vinam. By the way, only we're taking wishes. Thank you. Oh yeah.
Vinod is all about business, okay?
Yeah, I'm all about business. Karthik's all about listening to books alone. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's been like a fun Diwali weekend. We went down, and then I think in the last 2 weeks has been pretty exhilarating. Slowly picked up. It's been pretty exhilarating.
Yeah, and Vinod, this past month has been very eventful for you, right? I mean, you also had an anniversary, and what did you guys do? How do people celebrate anniversaries in COVID times?
Karthik, I mean, we did celebrate the anniversary in a small way, I would say. And Bangalore weather was always like Bangalore weather, Sai. You should enjoy, feel like you're in Bangalore. Yeah, yeah. Wearing a sweater in Chennai. Yeah. Trying to take out this hot flasks and all that. I'm already drinking hot water, frankly. So, yeah, Karthik, it was fun, I would say, in a small way. Went to a nice, somebody called it the best Vietnamese restaurant in town. So I did go to that just.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was a good part of it, and I just also wanted a slightly outdoorsy environment, so chose a place, spent the night there. So I think it felt fun, after a long time, to just step out of the house with our kids and everyone. Okay, all safe, but with all social distancing and sanitizers and declarations and temperature checks, whatnot. Right? So I mean, it felt like pretty solid. What do you call? Parameters on what people are doing, at least in some of the places that I'm visiting and making very cautious steps.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was technically the first visit with family outside, I think. Outside home, outside parents, in-laws. Good stuff. I think, it'll a good memory to remember. I hope to host, our portfolio founders one day there. Since you told Clubhouse. So you'll have to do a lot of work, Karthik, if you have to host our founders there, okay?
More to-dos for me, yeah.
No, I mean not in terms of to-do, in terms of money. That's it. Nothing.
Correct,
You don't need
correct,
to do anything. I'll take care of it. Yeah. Good. Bhargavi is joined. Bhargavi.
We are on the Thanksgiving weekend. We are thankful that Bhargavi has joined us.
Hey, Bhargavi. A lot of people wanted to hear why did we give this book, right? I have not read the book, so I was asking KP. KP has also not read the book. He's just listened to it. Okay.
Hey, that is as good as reading, I think.
It's actually better than reading. It's faster.
No, in true pure form, right? We've given a book, so it has to be read. Listening is not counted.
I have read it.
So we're willing to take your comments on the book now. Yeah.
So,
More hate coming from Sai. Thanks, Sai.
Noted, Sai. Noted.
Duly noted.
so I'll tell you what I really liked about the book, right? It portrays an entrepreneur's life of up and down. So it doesn't paint a very soft story only, nor does it paint a very rosy picture only. It paints a true picture of, yeah, things will go up, then things can come down. At one point in time, if you read, right, the shares of the company were worth less than $1. So it was really, really a bad situation. It went to that level. and then how do you bring your company back up from that level? Then again things went bad, and again he brought it up. So it really portrays a very true picture, and it tells certain things on the face. Stuff like, for example, as a founder, sometimes you have to realize that as your company grows beyond a level, maybe you're not the right person to head it, or you have to equip yourself to head it, or more importantly, your second line in command, which was right at some point in time, is probably not the right fit beyond a certain level. So you might have to take the difficult decision of bringing somebody on top of them. It's very hard decision for a founder, and not only for a founder. Coming from corporate, sometimes when a corporate or a particular division of a corporate grows beyond, so going from point A to point B, you will have a certain team and structure. Point B to point C might be that hockey stick growth, which happens even in corporates. And that time, many times I have faced personally that you would have to bring a head on top of somebody who's already heading something. And how do you handle it? How do you talk to them? So it gives examples of many real time practical scenarios. So these are some of just the examples which stuck with me after even couple of years of me reading that book.
Great. All right. So we'll move on to the next segment, which is completely unplanned. I know.
I didn't know there was another segment also.
Yeah, I know, right?
I
there
thought
are
it
so
would be
many
like I'll
segments.
come and say hi, bye, and then leave.
There are so many segments. There was we already discussed. The donning his True Blue T-shirt.
Ah.
He pledged his allegiance to the portfolio company.
That should be our New Year gift to people. Java Capital
We
T-shirt.
should. Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna talk about, right? I think it's high time we did it. We
Yeah.
should get those.
You know that you can send us gifts with our logo. Thank you.
How cheapo you are. Someone has to take the effort of taking our logo, making a T-shirt, and send you as a gift.
Send you a gift also.
People can troll us and be our well wishers. यार थोड़ा तो कर सकते हैं यार.
Right. No, but that's coming. I think we should do it pretty soon. The Java branded, mugs or T-shirts. Although should we wait, because because of various other things that are happening behind the scenes. Maybe we should wait. I don't know.
That's fair, Karthik. So Karthik, what did you guys gift yourself for Diwali?
I gifted myself a break. I think I didn't touch my laptop for 2 whole days, which is like
Wow.
happening after a very, 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 very long time.
Nice, pretty nice. Yeah.
So my gift came a little bit early. I think maybe it comes in installments, right? It's not just one gift. So multiple gifts coming in installments.
What are you talking, Karthik?
Yeah, I keep myself. I keep giving myself gifts. To prop up the
Rich
the spirit,
person.
It doesn't have to be a lot. A Starbucks coffee could also be a good gift.
Yeah.
Which I did just last week. Ventured out, got a Starbucks after so many days, so that was good. But then I got a bicycle, a couple of months ago, and then I'm still getting some furniture at home.
With all that you're telling now, Java is giving you so much money. That's what
Yeah, absolutely. I hope the ITR people are not listening to this right now.
Yeah.
You know what I got myself? Actually, it's been super useful. I'll just show it to you guys. See.
I can't see. What is that?
That's what?
Wait.
Laptop stand or phone stand?
That's a phone stand. It's been
show again. Show again. Yeah. Okay. Oh, turn it around.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's been so useful, frankly. I mean, it helps me in like multiple, it's almost like a second screen now. It's kind of super helpful. So I've been using it like almost every day for 8 or 9 hours, literally. I can put on charge and and talk on it on speaker. All things, yeah. I was actually thinking I'll buy a bunch of it and just give it to a lot of people. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
you can start by giving it to us. Gifting
yeah,
it to
yeah,
us.
yeah. That's one of the.
What's that? Does it have a charge?
No, it doesn't have a charge. You get along with charge also. That's expensive. That only KP can buy.
This is just a stand.
Yeah. This is 1/60th of what KP can buy at. Yeah.
Oh God! So that's just a laptop stand, is it, or mobile?
Yeah.
Mobile stand.
You can put a mobile. You can put a iPad. You can't put a laptop. It requires a little more sturdiness for a laptop.
Right.
I can try if you want, but it'll fall, I think. But it's a nice small piece I got myself. And I got another small gift, somebody else sent it actually. I didn't know who sent it. I was thinking one of you might have sent it. That's why I asked you guys also, right?
Sure, why not? It's me,
Yeah.
The one that we discussed, Karthik, that one.
There was a mysterious gift that Vinod has received from somebody.
Unless you both are working in SanDisk or Western Digital, right? Which is unlikely. So somebody sent us nice SSD, from 500 GB SSD from SanDisk.
Good.
That was a nice surprise. I just got it yesterday. So initially I was thinking it should be, I don't know who it was. Then I realized finally I'd done some mentoring program, and somebody had just sent that across. Strange, nice gift to get on a surprise.
Very nice. Very useful gift.
Yeah. That rounds up my Diwali gifts and sweets and everything. Yeah.
Nice. So, speaking of our freewheeling today, right? We obviously don't have a guest coming in today, but any specific thoughts from you guys or anything?
Karthik, so I have I don't know about any specific thoughts. So there is this new theory. I am proposing it. I mean, I've been discussing with people. This week's been a week where I have spoken to a lot of VCs, friends, whom I have not been in touch in a sense, not gone back to them after a long time. So I spoke to at least 6-7 people so far in the week, all VCs, right? A couple of things that I'm still just patterns that I'm starting to visible. I think I've shared it with you guys. So one, there are new fundings happening all the time. There's absolutely no dearth of money. There's no dearth of transactions. Okay. Two, another thing is new funds are also getting raised. Again, there's no dearth again there also. Companies are getting funded. Surge was announced, right? There's an interesting pattern about Surge this time, right? For me, I mean, personally, I'm just saying, this could be with other companies also. Notice, not all the companies were well known earlier, or what I mean is, it's not like you knew about some of these companies in some form or the other, which is usually the case with most of the Surge cohorts. Will you agree with that or not? I don't know, but most cases, right, I would sense, this company, you probably knew this company, you knew this existed at least. I think this cohort is slightly very, very different in a sense. You don't know some of these companies earlier.
Yeah, and they have not necessarily raised money from angels.
Correct.
So
So what my theory here is, maybe the pandemic, right, just maybe made the top of the funnel democratic, very democratic. So because the funnel is so democratic, you are getting a very, very different kind of startup than you are used to from the previous patterns. So this I'm just saying, from looking at not just search cohorts, I'm just saying, that seems to be the pattern with others also. So is it good or bad? Yet to know, but at least it's good because founders are getting heard. It is more inbound, very slightly less outbound, less reference deals. In some sense, that's my theory. I don't know. I mean, you can argue against or for, but that's my theory based on some of the conversations, right? And also, some of the deals have happened so fast. I'm sure it does not lend itself to FOMO, or it didn't lead itself to more references and other stuff, right? Because everybody is doing Zoom calls and making reference checks and writing checks. So, in a sense, the pandemic has flattened the sourcing curve for VCs, and it's made founders easy for the founders to access the good deals. What it means is Java also gets good access to better deals because it's got democratized. It's not like you want to go to the top guys first and then come. Maybe it's a small thing. It may change again, but I just sense it's an interesting period in time where I think we potentially have capitalized, and maybe we can capitalize more. Yeah.
So a related thing, that I was actually thinking about, right? If during the pandemic, how are founders going about, pitching, right? It's no longer, feasible for them to meet people in person and pitch, right? I'm just curious how these guys are zeroing in on the investors that they want to pitch, and how they're going about the modalities that they're using to impress upon the investors to make the investment, right? Also, do you think, again, anecdotally speaking, right, if we with taking us out of the picture, do you think more and more investors are making decision making? Has it hastened? Is it quickened up because of the nature of the whole process now that is online?
Interestingly, the second part of what you mentioned, Karthik, is very interesting, right? Because I am seeing the founder on a Zoom call. So the founder assessment, right, slightly takes a backseat. If you ask me, in terms of how you would have assessed in the past versus how you assess in the now. What it means is maybe your decision making weightage goes more towards market, more towards traction, or where the product is, what the product is doing, less towards the nuances of who you are, how you are behaving in an environment. One.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
organizing an offline call in the past, right? You used to have a call, then you used to organize one more meeting, 1 week later, 2 weeks later, and one more IC meeting, 3 weeks, 4 weeks later. So by the time 4 weeks is gone, today, right? You don't need to wait for that longer time. IC meetings don't happen on a Monday morning any longer. IC meeting can happen even on a Thursday evening. IC meetings can happen on a Friday morning also today. For VC calls. That's the big change.
Yeah.
Because that's a big change, decision making also will happen faster. And there is no big time gap between meetings and between work needing to get done in terms of diligence work or other work, right? I think it's crunched the funding cycle within firms, is my view at least, personally from whatever conversation. It's I read a few things in the US also saying, there's a similar thing that's happening in the US. Decision making time is kind of got cut. That means you will make more decisions in the same amount of time, but you have the same fund, right? So, how do you accommodate for time diversity? Maybe time crunch diversity. So it's interesting. These are interesting things to kind of think and mull over. Also I've heard of other large VCs, deploying a large capital in the last 9 months and exhausting their capital in the
No, I think for funds, right? It's a problem of plenty right now, right? There's a lot of startups, who are able to, who they are able to listen to, right? Which would otherwise, be confined to a Monday morning for a few hours. You have to have the entire partnership assembled in one place. These are just things of past. Right?
No, you should ask Bhargavi. What do we do, Bhargavi? We only do Monday morning, right?
About what? Monday morning.
IC meetings.
I think we do IC meetings whenever we WhatsApp, Slack,
Yeah.
meetings, formal,
Very much on the
informal.
fly.
Yeah, I think that's the agility in sense, because we don't have so much of structure put in place. We are ready to do a call whenever we need to, and we can, make the decision faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Bhargavi, I actually have a question from Sham, right? And I want
I know,
you to.
I saw. Shyam, thank you so much. See, I was so bored with what Vinod is talking. Now finally we are getting something interesting.
Finally, something juicy.
Yeah,
And
Bhargavi,
on top of it, Vinod is asking me questions. Now we
No,
are
but
talking.
before you say anything, right, Bhargavi, before you say anything, Sham, I just wanted, this is what happens, right, when you are, eating, breathing, living startups and investments, right? So I somehow could not sleep overnight. So at 3 o'clock, somewhere 3:30, 4 o'clock, like that, I just opened up Twitter and I read the entire thread on this topic. Okay, so
So, let's
anyway.
put Bhargavi on the spot. Bhargavi, you are the in-house expert on this. Please go ahead.
I think I have been on the spot on this. I think I will be on the spot for some more time. Yes, hi, we saw Chota Einstein.
Bhargavi, just hold. Make sure that you don't say anything that will get you sued in the court. Okay.
No, so on Chota Einstein, there is another end also, right? One of the supposed to be founders is from my alma mater, so I get to hear some internal conversations also. Anyway, Shyam, to answer this, I think suddenly people have got more aware about this, and what we have heard is traffic has increased to some of the websites, and this is not only our company but other companies also which I talk to. That there is a sudden surge of traffic because people are searching more for White Hat Junior, and all the coding websites are getting more traffic because of this. And personally, I think one other way is because there is probably a negative color to that. People who genuinely think or have a FOMO, they will look at other websites which do not have that negative coloring yet. So I think these are some of the positives because still I believe many of the storm is happening on Twitter, where most of Indian average parents and people are not there still. So they still look at what you see in the larger media. So
Do
till
you
now,
subscribe?
in short, I don't see. I have not seen, at least the companies we have been interacting with, any dip in revenue or anything like that. Only thing is they are saying more traffic is coming.
So Bhargavi, essentially, you subscribe to the school of thought that no publicity is no such thing as a bad publicity, right?
I can't take a very black or white stand on that, but I think for the industry, this has created more momentum probably because people are reading and getting to know more about coding and what it is.
Bhargavi, I'm just imagining if this conversation happened after Monday's announcement, right? I think that would have just been on fire next week, maybe.
You have.
Yeah.
Mm.
Interesting. I mean, my take is, Karthik, bad publicity, good publicity. I think awareness is shot through the roof. There is a Ulf Gupta on Twitter, but I also subscribe to Bhargavi's thought saying, this Twitter bubble is a limited number of Indians, right? How many people are on Twitter, right? And how many people are following the startup?
I was not there till Vinod bullied me to be on Twitter.
I bullied, okay. So, and I think, this is, pushing both sides of the equation. Now, I've seen a lot of people telling, okay, go to code.org, do it for your own kids, why are you doing this? So I think awareness in general is increasing for coding, which is good. I think, there's absolutely no wrong in learning about coding, right? So that's good stuff.
Yeah, let kids be kids. No, Shyam has another comment there. Yeah, see, I think it is very diverse view amongst different parents, right? So, for example, if you ask me, a kid going and learning a guitar or a kid going and learning a keyboard, if you ask the kid, right, we might think, yeah, it is probably fun for the kid and I'm putting him or her in a fun. The kid will say, I am going and sitting there and learning something. If you give me a choice, I want to just keep playing. So I see that learning coding, learning musical instrument, or learning a craft, from a kid's point of view, probably at some level, depending on which age, right? It's all the same. These are different skills which we are giving exposure to the kid. So if kids have to be kids, I would probably question that none of the after school streams should exist, or we can question any such stream, because beyond a level, uh, depending on age again, right? If you put a kid to something which is structured and ask them to go through some structure, sometimes they see it as fun, sometimes they don't see it as fun. I have seen kids who think learning coding or learning something like robotics as more fun than going and learning something like a keyboard or guitar. So it's a very diverse view.
Yeah, and Sai has a question. Have you guys seen Chota
Yeah, I
Einstein?
saw this and I answered. That's what I
Yeah,
said.
you've seen it on Twitter, and yeah, that's all you've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, Sham, absolutely. So the CBSE curriculum, the new national education policy, which puts coding, that in itself is being questioned and criticized. That is a different story, but that is definitely a boon for the, or probably it is a nudge for this industry.
So, I think coding per se, right? I think is not bad, right? It's been told, it's a nice life skill to learn. Just like we learned swimming, we so many things. I think coding is like a new gen skill. Everybody has to learn because you're going to do something with software, no code tool, whatever, right? I think that is overarching need. Yeah, I mean, is it this because the current scenario? People may think coding only you should not do. I think I wouldn't say that. We should encourage people to build something, create something, which is the root of learning coding in some sense. At least to get creative, frankly speaking. Yeah.
So, guys, there's a little bit of controversy on Twitter this past week. I'm sure you guys know all about it, right? It's about a founder and discussing with a VC about his business plans, and and then the founder alleged that this particular VC essentially started the same business that he's in, right? I'm not bringing this topic up just because of the shock value. In fact, I just want to put up the tweet from Shanti, who actually brought this up, right, for people to see. I think this is an important topic for us to, just share our thoughts on, if you will, right? The tweet is there up there on Twitter still. You guys can go and look at the entirety of it. But the crux being that because this founder apparently shared a lot of information with the VC, and this VC turned out to have tried the same idea, or going into the same business, right? I've seen a lot of comments on both sides, right? Whether if there is enough evidence or not for that on one end, and then got it. And then we also have people arguing on the founder's side as well, right? This is always sorry. Some have been advising that they should sign an NDA. Without an NDA, you should not be sharing anything with your investors. I have my views on that. I'm going to reserve my views on it. But do you guys want to share any thoughts on this at all?
So, Karthik, NDAs, people don't sign largely, because of the volumes. And also, right, imagine you having a lawyer to go through every NDA and vetting it out and signing it for every company, right? See, in a typical M&A transaction, right, I think it makes sense. If we are looking at 100 companies and picking to invest one company, right, imagine NDAs to manage, the lawyer fees for anybody to manage NDAs, right? Practically very, very difficult, unless there is something everybody agrees industry-wide saying standard NDA or something like that, right? it's very, maybe that's potentially possible, just to have it covered for everybody, saying very very standard NDA. And and another thing is, I mean, any contract enforceability is tough in India. That's like a different problem altogether, right? That's like a overarching contract enforcing problem in the country. But I think India is very difficult. Otherwise, if each founder comes with a different NDA, it's going to be very very difficult to kind of adhere to it. And imagine you just get bogged down by just the NDAs itself. Forget looking at the other problem also, right?
And just to add to that, it's like we ourselves look at hundreds of companies, right? And many of them have very similar ideas,
Yes.
right? If not exactly the same idea, uh, from an execution point of view to how the entire business model is laid out, right?
Yeah.
So it becomes next to impossible for investors to sign an NDA with every single startup that we look at, right?
I think, having said that, right, I think what what pointed out also is, like, I kind of agree, right? Look, somebody should not take founders for a ride, and then you start your own business exactly in the same space, right? I mean, that I think is ethically, morally not even. But see, we don't know the full facts of the case, right? So I'm just commenting, if somebody is done
Exactly.
that,
Yeah.
then ethically, morally, that's not right.
Correct. I think there's always a thin line, right? I mean, especially on the social media vigilantism, if you will, right? It's very difficult to gauge the facts surrounding it. We just have to take it at face value. But by having said that, I think these kind of things happen extremely rarely in our ecosystem. I think very, very rarely, maybe 0.01% of the times, or maybe even less than that, right? Would you guys share that assessment?
So I don't know the math, Karthik, but I think it happens. It does happen, I would say. I think, which is which ideally shouldn't. Yes, it does happen. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and Sai is asking, how do you even enforce an NDA in India? I think this is more of a rhetorical question, right, than a good question, if you will. Right? I mean, it's way too expensive to enforce this. Actually, nobody wants to go there. Even if you do have an NDA, right? And honestly, I will say this to the viewers, right? That when we are dealing with companies, if somebody asks an NDA, we just plainly tell them, look, we cannot do it. We are happy to let go of the deal than get into this business of signing NDAs, because these are unnecessary. At least because we know who we are, right? So it becomes unnecessarily complex for us. Here is a backhanded compliment for me. I'll take it. Thank you. Sai.
So yeah.
That's okay. We can redo.
Yeah. So Sai and I, we exchange backhanded compliments all the time. So thank you, Sai. Appreciate it. Keep them coming.
But looks like copying competition has become par for course.
Of course.
Maybe I have a very very different view. Maybe I'll take
I
your.
agree. Yeah. No. I actually, Sham, I don't completely agree with this statement, right? Obviously, there is nothing wrong in copying competition, as long as you're doing it in the right ways, right? In fact, we see so many businesses.
How do you
which are
copy,
exactly
and when do you copy matters, right?
Exactly, right. And how do you that the proof of the pudding is in the eating, right? How exactly are you copying it? Okay.
Now we are making it very, very controversial. Okay? Now this is all going to get censored.
Staff is out on a mission. Looks like.
Yeah, but this.
I can do this answer nicely. Sham, all this under sub judice, so we are not to talk.
Though we are not parties of any.
Yeah. No, Sham, I think this is going to continue to be there. Very difficult to ascertain facts. Every person. For example, in some of the cases that you mentioned, I have spoken to one side. I have heard the story on one side. I've read a bunch of articles. Very difficult to make a judgment, frankly speaking. So I wouldn't want to sit in judgment. I'd rather be happy and learn what has happened on both the sides and stay that way. Frankly, it's very difficult to judge these, without the full facts. We stick to judging companies, Sham, and making decisions on companies that we want to fund.
We'll stick to what we do best. We are not in the business of starting up.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. What caught your eye? So,
Okay.
Sham and Sai, if anything caught your eye this week, preferably in the startup ecosystem, please leave it in your comments. But I will first start with Karthik.
Oh God, you're putting me on the spot. Actually, something that caught my eye this week, but it's actually not something that happened this week, right? I was just doing a little bit of research on fintech unicorns in India, right? Razorpay just recently became a unicorn like a month ago. Oddly, what I noticed was there are unicorns from payment gateways. There are unicorns from most of them are payments, right? Like you have PhonePe, Paytm, either peer-to-peer payments or payment gateways like Razorpay, right? Oddly, none of them is a lending fintech, and we have plenty of lending fintechs in the market.
Feature, man. There won't be lending fintech. It'll be feature.
Thanks for seeing the punchline, Vinod. No, I think elaborate on that, right? It's an important observation, right? We've seen a lot of companies, in fact, raise a ton of money. A lot of lending companies. It's interesting, one particular company raised close to $140 million, and in the last round they validated like $245 million, right? Even that could have been a little inflated, if you ask me, right? I mean, there will be some correction at some point of time. So why haven't we seen a lending unicorn already, in our ecosystem? Is something that really, piqued my interest.
Interesting. That's good. Maybe I'll go next. Two things that caught my eye.
I wanted to ask Karthik why there is no lending fintech. Why does he think there is none? And my second question is, Sham, will you lend a fintech or a lending fintech, or no?
Will you fund?
Sorry,
Yes.
will you fund a lending fintech or no?
That's not. You're not going to get an answer, guys.
No. While Sham is typing his answer, right? I'll try to answer the first part of your question, Pargiri. I think primarily the reason why we haven't seen lending unicorns just yet, right? Is because of the siloed approach that these guys have taken, right? I think this is like Vinod was saying. That was the punchline that Vinod was using earlier, right? We can potentially see a unicorn with a model of where they're offering lending as a feature, right? Rather than focusing on a particular segment, a silo, and then trying to go deep in it. Because that's a long process. That will take a long time. You have long credit cycles. You have to prove the model, especially in traditional products, right? Like home loans, education loans. These are all very long credit cycles, which will take a long time to prove the model. And if you're being valued at a multiple of your, let's just say, net worth or a disbursement, right? It will take a long time for you to reach those large scale metrics to justify a $1 billion valuation. So that's my argument on why they haven't just reached yet. And Sham is saying he's already invested in a company.
Great, Sham.
We got one more company for you, Sham. You just have to hit the button, send button, okay? Right. Bhargavi, so next, what caught your attention
No,
this
I
year?
want to
What do you
continue
think?
with this, right? Because fintech is something which is close to my heart as well. And I believe lending as a space is still sort of, it has the rub off of the traditional scenarios, the positive and negatives of the traditional things still, right? So for me, a company which thinks less of lending, more from infra point of view. How are you going to rethink on the entire fintech infra, payment infra, lending infra? I think that is where the differentiation is going to come, and there is definitely a lot of scope. Not only in India, because once you build this infra, then you can go global as well. So I would be very, very keen to look at the next Plaid coming from India, unicorn like Plaid coming from India. So yeah, that is my view in fintech. So yeah, so I think if things go well, then we will be part of that growth. Let's
Story.
see.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I like that. Bhargavi, we'll have a unicorn in the fintech space. Huh? That's the confidence. Awesome, man.
Very right. Very right. Great. I guess, guys, this is pretty much it
Yeah.
from our end. Happy Thanksgiving. I know we are wrapping up a little bit early today, but I'm sure we had a
Without
very.
giving chance to Vinod to talk, what caught his eye?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Did I not? Okay.
Hey, let's cover it next week, man. Let's keep people waiting. Actually, let maybe I'll just run it really fast and let's not take too. I'll not take too much time. One was this Sonu Sood's some Rozgar, man. I was surprised by the fund.
Oh, yes. 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 Yes.
I don't know really. I haven't gone dive deep into it, but I looked at the quantum and I was like, okay,
Like what, $30 million?
$34 million funding. I don't know. I mean, how real or unreal that is. Okay, that was very interesting.
Alia Bhatt's brand.
I know Alia Bhatt, nahi, Sonu Sood. Okay, Alia Bhatt
I know
also.
Alia Bhatt also launched a brand,
Oh,
clothing brand, I think, right? Of
pretty
what
interesting.
funding.
Yeah. Yeah. She did. She
So
did.
there's
I was monitoring couple of clothing, baby clothing brand companies. Now I'm rethinking my strategy.
okay, interesting. So, Karthik, the other thing that caught my eye, I know it's not discussed. We discussed some time ago freewheeling Unacademy becoming a $1 billion unicorn. Uh,
Correct.
since 3-4 sessions that we last discussed, it's like a $2 billion company now. By the way,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you're right on that. It starts somewhere. I think you're right on that. I was just thinking on the same thing, Sham. Maybe it starts somewhere, but you make it sustainable, right? Maybe that's yeah. You're right. You're right. I was thinking maybe it's a plant impactful, sustainable, whatever that is, right? If he really is doing it, I just heard that. I'm okay with that. As long as something is sustainable, yeah. As long as it doesn't turn out to be Baba Ka Daba kind of a story.
Yeah. Way to go, cynicism.
Huh? Oh, you guys don't know the Baba Ka Daba story?
Baba Gadaba, this sounds familiar, but go ahead.
Okay, no, I'm just
Enlighten us.
no. There was this Daba run by an old
Oh,
man.
no. I know it. It's in Delhi,
Ah,
right? This
yeah,
old
Delhi.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, the poor
And
man.
people lined up the next day
Right
after.
up,
Yeah.
then some guy, frauded them by taking all the money and then Baba sued that guy. Eventually, that's what happened in a way. So different types of Babas and Dabas exist. That's what it means.
I didn't know there was a part two to that. I stopped following after people started lining up
Twitter
at his.
is a nice place, to feel good. Frankly, stay in the bubble for a lot of time every day.
Right.
Also, I think this turned out.
Enough jabs for a day, man.
Sorry,
Enough jabs for a day, no?
that is the jab. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Sham. Thanks, Sai. Thanks, our well-wisher Vinam. Thanks for all those comments today. I think we were totally unprepared, totally I think. But when I look back, I think today's content was very interesting and very exciting. Freewheeling, really freewheeling.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we should owe a lot of that to Sham and Sai.
Hi today.
For sure.
You can give them special privileges, Karthik, and you can call them freewheeling, inner club member or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we will actually do one better than that. We'll send our branded T-shirts as soon as we have the first batch ready.
Yeah. I'm game. When the first batch is
Yeah.
ready, nobody asks. Please don't ask. Okay. Thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks. If you want to sign up or you want to become a part of Java Capital, in either as an investor or either as somebody who wants to learn about investing, visit our website at javacapital.co. And if you are a founder who's listening to us, feel free to write to us on LinkedIn, hello@javacapital.co. We'll make sure we respond to you in 15 to 20 days in most cases, earlier if that's possible. Thank you all. Have a great weekend and see you again next week. Karthik, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks, Sham and Sai. It's been a very engaging conversation. Like Vinod was saying, if you would like to consider investing with us, just go to javacapital.co/invest with us. And you can, just fill out the form that you have available there. We'll get your information, and then we will stay in touch with you on how we can help you build your portfolio through our network of startups. On that positive note, have a great weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, again. So somebody just messaged that he's broke. I'm just going to put it up, man.
Yeah, you're still welcome to fill up the form, but we will not get back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just lie and make up things on the form, Sai, All right. Great. Good luck, guys. See you next week.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye.